It's okay to skip leg day. Now, I've uttered something that will be seen as blasphemy in the fitness circles. It's almost like a religious duty to do leg day in the fitness space, and if you don't, it's like some kind of sin. But I'm here to say that it's okay if you skip leg day. Your physique goals are your own, and if legs don't fall high on your priority list of muscles you want to work out, that's perfectly fine. More power to you. So, why do I say that it's okay to skip leg day or not prioritize legs nearly as much as any of your other muscles? Well, it's simply because, like I said in the intro, your physique goals are your own. If you don't care about legs that much, like, more power to you. Who am I to say that that's somehow wrong in any way, or oh, you have to do it this way? I really don't like the sort of like groupthink we have in the fitness space that, oh, like basically you have to do legs, as if, again, as if it is some kind of religious duty, or as if it is some sin to not have your legs be the most important body part in your physique. It's just ridiculousness and kind of like ways for people to try and, I guess, like, in a way, control others or dictate others or judge others. I don't ascribe to any of that. Do whatever you want. If you care more about training your neck than your legs, like, again, more power to you. If that's what's in your dream physique, do it. So now, to look at it from a little bit more of a logical perspective, if you're an adult, you're already fully grown, you're probably in this game of bodybuilding and trying to build muscle simply for aesthetic purposes. You want to build an attractive physique that appeals to women, and you also want to build the kind of physique that other guys will respect you for. And in that pursuit, in the pursuit of building an aesthetic or physically attractive physique, let's just face it, legs don't place that high on the list of muscles. Like, if you were to list them all out in a list, I don't think they'd be near the top. If anything, I think legs would be near the bottom. They're not a priority for building an aesthetic physique. So it makes sense why a lot of gym goers, a lot of young men who are gym goers, want to put it near the bottom of their list and not prioritize them that much. Again, I don't understand, and I don't like the kind of culture where people are basically pushing their own physique goals onto people who don't actually have those physique goals. Again, you don't need to prioritize legs as your top priority. If you don't care about them, you don't have to do it. And to some people, their legs might be something that, even from an aesthetic point of view, is something that they really want to develop, and that's also fine. I'm not saying that I'm not against doing legs either. I'm really just against this culture of sort of people forcing their, I guess you would say, ideal dream physique onto other people. At the end of the day, it's about your dream physique. If you're in this game because, I don't know, you just have a really niche thing where you want to just have like really big forearms and that's what you care about most, don't listen to the advice that says, oh no, you need to start your every workout with leg work first. No, why would you start with legs if what you care about most is your forearms? Start with arm related stuff and forearm stuff. You don't need to do legs first. You don't need to prioritize legs just because some powerlifter is telling you to do it. And throughout the years, I've really just realized how much hypocrisy there also is in this argument. Like, most of the people who argue about, like, you have to do leg day, and they treat leg day like, again, like some kind of like religious thing where you're just not allowed to skip it or whatever, they themselves probably have no qualms, like, completely skipping doing any kind of neck work or ab work, or sometimes even just arms, right? Like, they don't really care about doing that stuff, but oh, you better not skip legs. Again, it's just really hypocrisy, right? Because me, I could go to them and say, like, oh, you're skipping neck or abs or whatever, and they would be like, yeah, I don't care. So you see the hypocrisy there? Don't let these hypocrites with double standards influence your training and your dream physique, because they wouldn't do the same for you the other way around. And over the years, I also thought, where did this you can't skip leg day and really, placing legs as your top priority kind of mindset really come from? And the answer is, it came from the powerlifting influence. Now, the powerlifting influence on bodybuilding has definitely done some good, but overall, I think it has done a lot of bad as well. The kind of powerlifting influence has pushed a lot of their training and physique goals onto a lot of young men who are just in this for aesthetics purposes, and it's because in powerlifting, there's a big emphasis on the big three movements, right? Squat, deadlift, and bench. Out of which the first two out of the three, the squat and the deadlift, are primarily leg movements. So for them, yeah, training legs is very important. For them, if you skip leg day, you're an idiot. But on the aesthetics front, it's completely different, right? Because legs aren't that high on the priority list of aesthetic muscles, as I spoke about earlier. They're just simply not. Upper body stuff is a lot more, so it makes a lot more sense to focus on that. But somehow the prevailing sort of culture in like YouTube fitness and stuff like that sort of had a powerlifting lens to it, and that has really derailed a lot of people's it's really what I would say robbed their own physique goals, and it's really become a place where a lot of young men chose other people's physique goals as their own, even though they never started that way, simply because of this powerlifting influence. So as I reach the end of this video, I just want to clarify, I'm not saying that you should completely neglect your legs and never work them out ever. You know, for even just for aesthetics purposes, even if legs aren't high on the priority list, if you have complete chicken legs and while your upper body is super jacked, you're gonna look kind of weird. So from an aesthetic perspective, you still want some overall balance. And also just from a health perspective as well, you still want to work out your legs to an extent. You want to still have somewhat athletic legs, and you know, you want to avoid muscle imbalances that can mess up your posture and stuff like that. So still train your legs. But really what I'm saying is that it's okay to deprioritize them. You don't have to do legs as your first exercise when you're the most fresh if they're not your priority. You don't have to do 15 sets of legs a week if you're okay with just doing like 2 to 6, let's say, a week, just to maintain whatever muscle mass you have and maybe build a little bit more. Again, you can throw them at the end of your workout. You cannot do that many sets for them because they're not your priority. Don't completely neglect them, but you don't need to make them your priority. Make the muscles that you actually want to work out, which, like for me, for example, are, you know, back, shoulder, arms. I prioritize those way more than I ever prioritize legs. I always throw legs at the end of my workouts, and I don't do as many sets of them as the other muscles because, again, I simply just do not have them high on my priority list. I'm not neglecting them, but I'm not giving them priority either. And you can do the same. Now, to basically sign off this video, I don't know if this video is going to be useful to anyone. It's somewhat a little bit of a rant, but I know, at least for like younger me, I definitely did fall into this kind of culture for a little bit where I was just like, oh, well, I have to do legs, right? And oh, I have to do legs first, right? Because, you know, legs are the most important, and so I should place them as my highest priority. But, you know, legs are the most important to who? They weren't to me. Those were like, I was just making that my physique goal and my ideology because I was basically being told. I hope that maybe someone who's like younger me can watch this video and sort of in a weird way, like I can give them permission that like, look, I'm not going to be like all the other, not all, but many of the other YouTubers and tell you that you have to do this. You can do whatever you want. If your dream physique is arms, like everybody jokes on the gym bros or whatever who every day is arm day or whatever, but it's like, if that's what you really want, like, go do it. It's better than you not working out at all. And again, if it's your dream physique, who am I to say that, you know, that's unacceptable? I'm nobody. Do whatever the hell you want to do.